Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Selamat datang sekali lagi ke podcast Oh Ya Ke. Yeah, thank you so much kerana sudi mendengar kami di podcast Oh Ya Ke. Episode sebelum ini memang there's a lot of very very interesting sharing, and I feel that kita masih bersama Kai dengan Quraisha lah. By the way, kalau korang sedang mendengar kat rumah tu yang tak nampak visual tu kan, kita masih bersama mereka, and there's a lot more stories yang aku nak tanya dorang and apa yang dorang boleh sharekan, sebab it's very very inspiring. Aku really never expected the story to be in that sense, because usually yalah okay hijrah okay, biasa-biasa, tapi korang punya is super in detail to the point yang aku rasa macam ya Allah. Aku ingat aku punya yang susah kan. Aku yang paling tak susah lah actually. Aku just gitu je actually. Very very basic. Aku je very basic hijrah story lah. But korang punya is super interesting. Tapi aku nak terus straight away come back to the point. Previously you were talking about validation. Just now that was the hardest for you, sebab how do you overcome that? Macam because as a lady, yang you know lah, of course getting the attention. Lelaki kita kurang-kurang sikit lah. Kita ada that need for validation, kita ada, but it's not as strong compared to women. So how do you overcome macam, you know what, it's okay lah, macam aku don't get that kind of attention anymore, it's fine. How do you overcome that?
Yang like I cakap tu lah, attention is a drug, and I was addicted to it. Dah biasa sih. And then after that, terus bila dah the time that I actually felt so much peace, I felt that this is really worth it. And I also mentally macam dah okay, replay it in my head. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen next. You dah nak hijrah, you dah nak pakai tudung. This means that, you know, people are not gonna be looking at you as much and stuff like that. Semua, you're not gonna get macam like that validation that you're used to having and everything. Is that gonna be okay for you? And to me, the answer was like simple, yes and yes. Jadi bila Allah nak bukakan kita punya hati tu, from yearning so much validation, you boleh tiba-tiba hari tu, tak apa, like this journey, it's enough for me and everything. You punya hati betul boleh bolak balik. And that was what I felt. So it's like macam complete turn lah. And that's not something that you can, if I bilang orang pun, oh it happened overnight, macam bidik.
Tapi tak faham.
It really happened for me. So everything just didn't make sense. Langsung Allah nak bukakan hati kita, nak kasih kita hidayah, nak kasihkan kita macam rasa keinsafan. Kasih, you know, you feel that kind of like macam malu instilled in you for all the wrong things you've done. Nak kasih you terbuka hati untuk be macam like receptive of like, you know, fully covering up and everything. Tu semua boleh happen. Tu semua kehendak dia, tu semua ketentuan dia juga.
Yes,
so I felt like that was like a miracle that I felt personally, and that only built the connection of my spirituality even stronger lah. So I was like really happy with it and everything semua.
What about your party friends? Macam okay lah, your friends lah. Aku rasa party friends jahatnya aku ni. How? So because I know usually girls ada their own clique kan. So how did they take it when macam suddenly Quraisha benda tiba-tiba kan overnight tiba-tiba nak pakai tudung lah apa.
That's why.
What was their response, atau macam were they receptive, macam nice towards it, atau
I have to really give so much credit to my friends because they were very supportive of me. And I think pasal bila as woman, bila kita dah kahwin, kita punya jalan tu dah berubah juga. If you dah kahwin and you can still do all your single things and stuff like that, then it's interesting lah. Because for me, when I got married, I just wanted to slow down already. I know that macam like, yes, I still want to go out, but I want to slow down. So they already saw the signs from there. They know that okay, like macam like
Quraisha dah boring lah.
Quraisha dah boring lah, senang cakap. Because Quraisha was the planner tau. Now she's like macam inactive, dah tak nak keluar sangat, dah macam, you know, dah malas-malas and everything semua, dah macam Quraisha's married already lah. You know, it was really like that. Then sekali now Quraisha wants to cover up. This means that we will not be going to the places that we used to go. They know that it's a package really that goes hand in hand kan. Tapi they're so supportive because what happened was that from my TikTok link semua kan, jadi macam apa tau, halal places to go, gini-gini semua. My girlfriends were sending me so much links and everything that made it macam like even more encouraging. So bila untuk I punya perubahan tu, alhamdulillah, like macam Allah really is that aspect. I think because like macam the struggle was already so hard that sekali bila macam this pintu hidayah terbuka ni, it became easy for me because parents happy, over the moon.
Of course.
Apa yang diorang ajak I, apa yang kira-kira like they've been wanting for me, ni like macam they get to like see it first hand. Friends very receptive, very supportive juga. Habis lepas tu terus sampai macam like start macam making our plans like change and everything semua macam
accommodate to your change
to
lah.
me. And I know that this is also macam something that's very rare for some people also. Not everybody is lucky enough
Betul.
to be having that. But alhamdulillah, really for me that was the case also.
Right.
But my cubaan was with work. That's all lah.
Betul.
So that was like my biggest challenge with like my whole hijrah journey.
Right.
Tu je.
Okay, bila korang dah hijrah together tu kan, what was the first step? Macam korang belajar courses ke together ke, pergi kursus belajar agama ke macam mana?
First kali aku rasa start with the solat lah. Whatever we know.
Kau tahu solat back then?
Tahulah. But with whatever we know je lah. Bukan yang surah panjang-panjang ni semua. Bukan. Just basic necessities like the Al-Fatihah dengan short surah lah.
3 cool ke biasa
3
lah.
cool lah. That's the most lah. Kira aku pakai lah. Kira banyak solat tu je.
Tahu, faham.
Jadi we felt that to get in depth, to strengthen our iman, definitely, right? Kita have to understand Islam. Okay, we understand the base of it, but kita need to macam tahu
Islam,
lah apa tu neraka, apa tu ni.
Betul.
Kita tahu kita dosa neraka, pahala syurga.
Betul.
Basic, but we want to know apa tu Islam. Habis Islam pun ada pecahan-pecahan, betul? But that all aside, kita just want to know what Islam is, right? In depth. So kita went for classes. No need to say the classes ke apalah. So kita went for classes which explain really well lah. So everything yang dia ajar with hadith ataupun Quran, right? Dia ajar. That's where aku felt more clear in my head.
Correct.
That is when iman kita nak cakap strengthen up, dia strengthen up, the boost. Tapi takut pasal neraka pun banyak bro.
Betul.
Jujur punya. So I say, alamak, this is real. This is real hit, man.
Bila kau dapat tahu, honestly, daripada bila kita meninggal apa jadi, all the way the whole process kan, bro. Kau macam, am I ready to die now? Dulu aku macam aku nak confident nak mati sekarang, esai lah. Sekarang bila fikir balik, walaupun kita yang dah hijrah dan kita try our best to istiqamah, kalau mati sekarang pun macam bukan takut mati,
Scary,
takut tak cukup pahala untuk fight kita punya dosa-dosa yang kita dah bikin. Faham?
Because at the end of the day kan, no matter how much gunung pahala pun kalau kau ada, kalau Allah tak reda kau untuk masuk, kau takkan masuk syurga.
Yes.
In that sense. So banyak orang tak faham benda tu. Kadang-kadang pahala kau boleh sikit, kadang-kadang pahala kau boleh sikit tapi kau masih boleh masuk syurga. In that sense tau. So at the end of the day, kita punya path kan is not to accumulate the amount of pahala, tapi untuk mencari keredaan Allah. Tapi mencari keredaan Allah is to do good things. Once you do good things, Allah akan reda. Tapi another thing also, before Allah nak reda, ibu bapa kena reda dulu. So that is number one lah. Pasal sebelum Allah nak reda, Allah nak kasih kau masuk syurga, Allah akan tanya parents kau, anak kau adalah berbakti pada kau atau tidak. All these kind of things. And parents kau akan kata yes or no, nanti baru Allah akan kasih. This is small things. Aku terus jadi tazkirah kat korang pula. Bukan lah. Okay, so
good sharing.
Alhamdulillah.
Curi pahala nampak.
Betul, sikit lah. Aku nak curi-curi sikit lah. Okay, so bila korang dah belajar tu, bila Fight Garage tu dah jadi metai gini-gini, gedebak-gedebuk, lepas tu korang dah hijrah tu kan. And then what, tiba-tiba benda jadi Crozon pula.
Okay, before Crozon, okay, while Fight Garage kita tengah just floating, there are times where the profit is good also.
Okay.
Random times ada.
Susah tu buka
fight gym, right?
Fight gym.
But
jadi susah.
We saw it grow.
Ada yang pasang surut lah.
Nampak juga.
Right.
More bad at the start.
Of course.
During the end, we saw it grow a little. Macam, is this the time where it dah nak jadi? I was talking to her, right?
Geli-geli
Is this the time that when dah nak jadi? So, okay, when kita hijrah, when Fight Garage all this, kita punya friends, both kita punya friends and family very supportive. Power. Kira memang they in acceptance. So, my dad and friends will sometimes come to the gym as well. Come to the gym, visit, talk, apa gini semua. Jadi I pun berbual dia, now is picking up. I think then with the niat, I also want to grow myself. Pasal with this opportunity, maybe we can now find our own house ke, you know.
Yeah.
With the living conditions that kita ada, while dia tengah hijab lagi now, dah hijab apa. So alamak, ni opportunity ni. So I shared with my dad. This is my failures that aku tak embarrassed to share, because I don't want people to see just what is happening now, the growth. I want them to know what we had to go through for it as well. So kau tengok bila aku felt that ada opportunity, aku pula berbual dengan bapak aku and friends. Aku rasa macam ni boleh bikin tau. Satu kat east, satu kat west lah. Kita bikin lagi satu kat west, bro. But while aku still staying at Pasir Ris, aku cakap aku rasa boleh bikin. Tapi aku tak nak janji apa-apa. Aku cakap direct, I don't want to promise anything. You all think with me, boleh tak? Kalau boleh, we all can have one more. Pasal aku punya father and friends semua west side. Aku punya friends pun banyak kat west side. Jadi west side ni memang banyak orang lah yang kenalan. So kita dah ingat macam kalau kita buka kat west, ada ramai support. Number 1. And number 2, kita ada satu tempat yang kita boleh bersama-sama sebagai sahabat and doing good things, fitness and whatever we do good lah. Nothing. So we can distract ourselves from the negative activities, right? So we thought it to be that way. So I tell them, price dia macam gini, kita boleh bikin ni apa, dah share with them. Okay, how? Diorang pun receptive of it. Macam, jom lah, let's go lah.
Semangat lah.
Baik lah, kita ada tempat sendiri, nanti kita boleh ni. So kita actually bapak aku punya group, which alhamdulillah, thank you kalau you guys are watching this lah. Diorang shared some money for me to open another, because aku tak ada capital. Aku just had some profit yang tengah nak jadi Pasir Ris. Diorang shared some money together. Orang quite a number of people shared. Kita nak buka dekat Jurong.
Faham.
Okay. But aku macam legal matters apa ni semua, aku not pandai sangat. Sekarang baru aku start belajar. Aku just hired an accountant untuk kita punya company and stuff like that. Sekarang baru je into all this, bro. But before that, aku tak pandai sangat in all this paper admin stuff.
Just straight as apa nama dia, PNL lah. What goes in, what goes out. Melayu punya business lah kan.
Melayu punya business. Betul. That's all. Tak tahu government apa. I don't know, bro.
Betul.
So aku do dekat Jurong. We take one warehouse. Okay. We took one warehouse. Aku dah niat, okay, power. Okay, when we took that warehouse kat Pasir Ris pun, kita dah kena warning lah. But kita tak kisah. Kita warning pun, kita dah tak ada place to stay. Kita stay je lah in the container. Walaupun kita kena warning, which is salah. So we shifted to Jurong. Okay, Toguan kita open a warehouse. Kita ingat nak lagi satu fight garage. Then I took in a partner kat Pasir Ris to help me handle lah. Which aku rasa when aku took in that partner tu, dia ni dengan niat ikhlas dia memang want to help truly, but maybe the inexperience made it surut pula. Dia dah naik kan, dah nak jadi apa, dah kan aku cakap dengan kau it was profiting, then dia surut balik. But it wasn't his fault lah. Aku pasal dia he was a friend that aku did quite a few numbers things with when I was still active lah kan. We did a few things together. We passed, we failed. That all aside. So I had a barber shop and tattoo shop which failed as well, bro. We opened in Golden Mile. Okay, that aside, we went to Jurong. Got this industrial warehouse space. Big space, nice space. We got a ring. We settled it up. Dah jadi gym, bro.
Right.
And a room for me to sleep.
Okay. Better condition lah.
Tak
worst condition.
Okay.
I was gonna say yes because I remember the partition and then I remember everything else. I'm like,
Okay, so we had a partition there for us to sleep in, right? In the warehouse. Remember B1 Industrial Warehouse, So, okay, until we'll get on that later. But then, we found out after a while, kita took some students in, kita ni. After a while, we found out that B1 Industrial Building, kau tak boleh bikin gym. You need a retail space, bro. If you want to do a gym at warehouse building, you have to apply for change of use something kedebak, which will change of license, but not the change of that one that cost. I don't know what it costed, but dorang explain kat aku sampai 100,000 aku kena keluar. Mana aku nak dapat? So I talk to my dad and friends about, I see, terperanjat lah, kita terperanjat. Right. Buat macam ni, we didn't expect this, blah 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 blah. But I still had to continue to stay there first lah. Okay, while I was staying there, okay, ni where it comes So kita do the gym, kita ni, bro, Kita tengah training bro, tengah training boxing gerebam. Sekejap lagi tikus bro.
Scary
Tikus
sia,
bro,
that one.
live rats. It's a B1 industrial warehouse building, which we should expect that. When we sleeping dah nak tidur, okay dah. Tikus tu kita nampak kan, pam. Kita
Halau dia.
halau dia. Ciao. Kita sleep. Sekejap bagi live rats dekat bilik kita bro.
Scary nak mampus, you know.
Live
There was
rats.
once I was sick. And then after that, I makan ubat painkiller and everything. I was hallucinating rats. It was so bad. Gila.
Kita panggil pest control, which is aku punya friend juga. Dia nampak ni video, mesti dia tahu. Pasal malu lah bro. Honestly, I'm living in that condition. Lepas tu, tapi aku just aku dah no choice.
Yep.
Okay. Then orang akan tanya, habis asal kau tak pergi cari kerja? Ada juga nanti, sekejap akan sampai. So after that, bila aku kira dah tu tikus semua dah no choice, aku dah panggil pest control. Lagi worse, at night lagi worse, pasal dah ada dia punya poison semua yang akan make
akan
them
keluar.
run even more bro. But we had no choice kan. Then dah makin worse. While Alhamdulillah, when it was makin worse, aku dah plan jadi abang-abang tali bro.
Road access.
So rope access. Pasal aku punya circle kelilingan banyak rope access punya budak-budak lah. So diorang cakap this is the only thing yang kita yang budak tak ada pelajaran. Aku N level max kan. So tak ada pelajaran, jom kita ambil rope access ni, benda boleh bikin duit bro. Aku felt that aku takut heights bro.
Aduh.
Aku
Yeah.
takut heights
I
bro.
was
Apa yang kau
shocked.
nak jadi road access kalau kau takut?
Kan. But aku was at my wits end.
Right,
Aku had no choice. Aku cakap okay, jom. Aku pergi ambil course. Aku berbual dia dulu. Ada skill future apa bro.
Yep.
By the time aku was by the
He
time
just
I was
turned 25. Jadi ada skills future.
baru dapat dah boleh pakai lah. Baru dapat lah.
Boy baru dapat dah.
Kira this was just bro. Baru-baru tau. This year tau. This year. Right. Considered this year lah.
Yeah.
Aku pergi ambil tu course. Bila aku ambil course tu, aku takut gila. Tapi at the end of the day, pasal there's no choice lah bro. Kau takut tak takut, kau need money. Lagi kau have a wife yang tengah berhijab. At that time, pasal dia ada 2 pregnancy apa that time?
Yeah.
Pregnant juga
No, this one no.
Toguan dah tak
Dah tak.
okay. So but dia berhijab, living condition dengan aku macam ini. While okay, aku nak put in some good credits juga. Ni macam terlalu dah tak baik sangat kan. Good credits is kita still get good food lah. Macam aku cakap, kira dia masih pakai induction cooker, cooking for me very good food. Aku as a husband, aku try to fulfill aku punya necessities, responsibilities, the basic needs. Kita still struggling but working together. Okay.
And I was still working at that point of time.
Right,
Like macam
right.
off time also lah kan.
Yeah,
Right.
correct. So
ada
kita
both of you masih ada income yang masuk,
Yeah.
tapi from your end more lah in that sense.
no,
Is it?
from her end more definitely. But aku I must make it clear sayang. Okay.
Dia tak-
Because aku
dia
tak nak
tak
orang
ni.
fikir aku macam
Yeah.
pakai dia orang my wife punya duit. It's not right as a man.
Yeah.
So aku tak pakai duit dia.
Betul.
Okay. Dia punya, she help me how? Dia punya income, dia spend on herself on what she needs. Of course, sometimes bro, randomly dia pun baik hati gila. Kadang dia bawa makan, dia belikan makan apa ni semua. But every time kita keluar, aku try to fulfill aku punya basic needs as a husband. Aku bayar transport apa semua, kita macam sama-sama lah. As in aku akan bayar lah when we are
He
together.
takes care of my needs. Cuma I tak nak bebankan dia.
Ah,
So I still continue working and stuff
With-
like that semua lah.
Dia tak beban aku dengan dia punya wants.
Yeah, correct.
Faham.
Which alhamdulillah that's good enough bro. Not, I don't think it's siapa yang dapat macam itu, alhamdulillah lah.
Betul,
okay,
betul,
aku
betul,
really appreciate. So apa tadi? Okay. Jadi kita was living in that condition, but at the end of the day felt lah. Aku pun malu lah dengan bapak aku and friends that kita sekarang tak boleh bikin apa ni tempat. Tapi dorang pun understand. Dorang very supportive up till today. Aku buka booth apa semua, dorang datang jual ramai-ramai. Dorang very supportive, which is alhamdulillah. So felt okay. So I took that course, right? That aku takut bro. Okay, aku pass the course. After aku pass that course bro, aku nak pergi cari that time bulan puasa. Okay. So aku pergi cari dengan dia. Aku cakap jom lah kita pergi cari makan ke nak visit bapak aku punya kedai like both at the same time lah, dekat Gelang Ramadan Bazaar. That was after my course
Yes, yeah.
Kita dah pass lah. Okay, aku dah pass. Aku dah plan. Aku dah
We
cari.
should also highlight that after that Trus he had to let go of the place really. So now
Oh yeah,
we're
so
going back to
like
it.
tak boleh bikin apa.
Yeah.
But we were still there first.
Yeah, for a while.
So when we had to let go of that place, we were still there lah. when we go to Geylang
All the
Ramadan.
equipment kat situ lah.
Before the equipment, which gone to waste lah now. It's okay. That one aside. So when kita had the place, we had to let go. And that was what? After 2 to 3 years already, parents dia dengan aku dah okay balik. Dah okay, dah boleh berbual, dah boleh kira alhamdulillah better. Aku pun dah tak uncomfortable as first time kan.
Yep.
Still got that respect for old people, but aku not as uncomfortable. So okay, things dah going in place apa. Aku ingat aku dah nak kerja pasal kawan aku in Tali ni dia macam ada pangkat punya orang lah, ada contacts, ada network yang boleh carikan aku ni. So aku dah plan kerja. Okay, but on that day kita pergi, after aku pass aku punya air rata, kita pergi ni lah, jumpa bapak aku punya kedai. And at the same time cari buka sekali. After buka kita datang lah jalan-jalan. Okay, aku jalan. Dah jumpa bapak aku okay, power lah, boleh bikin lah. Aku tengah left my last cents in the bank punya tau. Ni dah tunggu nak kerja je. Tanya yang okay, bapak aku and aku have kadang-kadang some of our friends are same. Kita have the same set of friends. In some of them lah. Some of them are my friends, some of them are his friends juga. So yang boleh kasih aku lubang untuk kerja rope access ni is dia punya kawan jugalah. So that's why aku pergi sana, aku jumpa in hopes that aku boleh cari kerja juga kan. Aku jalan, sekali terserempak kawan lama, kawan nightlife. Okay, bukan go back to the nightlife kau jangan worry. While actually still sampai sekarang pun ada juga call, Eka come get back to this industry blah blah blah, but it's not in me anymore. Okay, so aku jalan-jalan, aku terserempak kawan aku from the nightlife. Kau fikir apa kat sini? Aku kedai aku lah ni. Kedai dia lah. Ni kedai aku lah. Dulu gini normal berbual. So aku nampak tengah berbual dia ni, aku nampak kosong punya space dekat kedai dia. Aku cakap kau bayar ini. Pasal aku tahu Geylang punya rental is crazy bro. 15 to 20,000 at the end of the electricity and stuff, right? So aku tengok wow, this is crazy ya. Kau this small space, just do something, go sell something. Aku cakap dia, kau jangan waste, kau dah bayar mahal-mahal. Aku ingat nak bikin sate bro. Dia cakap gini ni dah after 2 weeks of Ramadan or 1 week.
About 1 week.
Somewhat lah. So after that, while okay, aku dah ambil rope access punya course kan. Aku pun ambil, dia ada rope access ada level bro. So aku tengah okay, aku dah ambil level 1. Lepas tu aku ada ambil macam another course that would help me up aku punya gaji lah. Bukan level 2, but another course that would help me jadi power lah kira dalam itu industri. So aku tengah ambil while aku tengah berbual dengan So aku cakap dengan kawan aku, okay, kau pergi bikin, jangan waste ya kau punya duit gini. Aku nak bikin sate kai, tapi cari pekerja susah gini. Aku cakap aku kerja untuk kau lah. Main-main joking. Aku nak kerja road access je. Jadi aku cakap dia, aku kerja untuk kau lah bro. Kau kerja untuk aku. Okay, boleh side track sikit. Okay, by the way on that day, macam mana aku terserempak kedai dia bro. Ada satu orang yang kerja untuk dia dekat sana, tengah kacau-kacau aku kat TikTok. Aku baru start content creating bro. Tapi from kita punya bad habits last time, janganlah kacau-kacau sangat juga sampai no need tu kacau-kacau lah bro. Kita
orang kadang lupa kita ni kan, walaupun pakai songkok boleh juga tangan ni sampai. Jangan macam gitu.
Tak ada intention. Tapi respect each other lah.
Betul.
Kita respect each other. Kita try our best to respect each other. Tapi aku dah kena kacau bro.
Faham.
Jadi video pun dah sampai. Kai musibut dia ni dah ada ni dorang hantar aku video. Dia ni dah too much ada. Alamak. Macam mana ni? Kan? Macam mana ni?
Dugaan
ni. Tapi so aku approach him lah. Aku cakap bro, aku rasa lah aku cakap macam gitu kan.
In his imagination tak ni.
Bro, okay. Janganlah macam gitu. Betul lah. Don't, what are you doing? Asal kau nak kacau macam gitu. I'm trying to
do my own thing.
No need to disturb lah. So dia macam minta maaf lah. Dia cakap okay, aku sorry lah, aku buat ni, sebenarnya aku buat ni pasal aku suka. Tapi bila kau tengok tu video balik, bukan suka bro. Itu straight up ejek bro. Macam tengah ejek aku lah. Tapi okay lah. So dia cakap sorry, dia tak buat lagi. Dia delete tu video apa. Aku pun okay lah. That's when aku realise the boss is my friend. Aku tengah jalan-jalan tu, aku nampak dia ni yang kacau aku. Aku approach dia, aku bawa dia tepi, bawa dia, bro janganlah buat gini yang aku cakap tadi. Kan. So aku cakap dia, okay, dah settle. Bos dia datang. Bos dia datang, Kai kenapa ni? Macam tak adalah ni aku ceritakan dia lah. Kau tak boleh buat ini ni. Dia cakap kat tu orang, you cannot do like that lah, tukai gini. Aku pun aku don't like that. Baru aku realise that dia the boss of the shop yang dia kerja. Dia bawa aku pergi kedai dia apa. So baru back to
tadi Mr.
Yes.
Faham.
Back to story. Ada itu tempat kosong. So aku cakap, kau jangan waste duit kau bro. What is this? Kau wasted sih ni duit. Sekali dia cakap, aku nak bikin sate, susah cari kerja. Aku cakap, okay, aku kerja untuk kau lah bro, jom lah. So dia pula tengok aku, apa sih kau jangan mepek lah gini kan. Don't lah. Pasal dia tahu last time I'm doing all this macam yang night life apa gini kan. Why would aku nak kerja? Dia cakap aku gitu, tak payahlah, kau tak payah kerja sini. Macam tak apalah, aku kerja main-main. Aku pun tak ada niat, aku nak kerja road access je. So dia cakap aku, okay tak ada macam gini lah, kau pergi cari apa kau nak jual, kau bikin lah. Kau pun nak berbual sangat pasal ni tempat kosong lah, kau ambil lah ni tempat kosong. Macam tak lah, aku main-main lah. Aku cakap, I just joking with you, aku tak ada duit. Aku cakap, aku terus terang, aku at my wits end, aku have my last cents in bank, aku tak ada duit untuk bayar. Berapa sih kau nak charge aku? Charge, dia tengok aku charge. Bro tak apa lah, kau bikin je. Aku ada balance electrical belum bayar, which is kau tahu pun kasar juga kadang-kadang.
Kasar juga. Electrical kasar guys, kalau korang tak pernah buat event. Jadi
aku tengok, alamak, balance electrical. Aku cakap, okay, halfway through aku bikin dulu apa aku boleh bikin. Lepas tu halfway through bayar untuk kau. Aku okay lah. Dia pun on lah guys, kau just ambil ni tempat tapi kecil. It's like 1 square table bro.
Right.
Tapi okay, Alhamdulillah for that.
Yes,
like,
Alhamdulillah.
The whole time was just like super space constraint.
Correct. But when we came in also, dia tukar dia make arrangement yang dalam pun kita ada space sikit.
Aku kan datang.
Yelah.
Yeah, bisa guys.
Yang aku beli tapi aku tak ambil.
Yes, correct. Betul lah.
Aku jalan-jalan lagi, tak apalah, aku kasih orang je lah, tak apa, tak ada masalah.
Yes.
That space now aku understand.
So that small table space. But he gave
duduk luar.
Duduk luar apa? Kita duduk luar kedai apa?
Kat dalam.
Pasal he make a small space untuk masak kita punya benda.
Yep.
So Alhamdulillah, kita immediately when malam aku terus tengok dia, macam ni opportunity macam mana ni last sense tau, kita depend on that saja. Dia pun dia tahu dah tak kerja.
Yeah, I quit my job and I was taking baking orders.
Faham.
I memang minat baking. So I was like, okay, now I got free time. I left my job because of hijrah reasons. And then after that, I'm like, I still want to earn what? So I just take baking order apa semua.
Tu kita punya last sense lah, that we depend on. That brings my point lah. Jadi kita terus aku tengok dia, okay lah, kita try lah apa yang viral, apa yang trending. Tu time kira ada Crookie Paris punya cafe baru ni. So aku cakap, kita jual cookie lah, jom lah kita belajar. Dia master baker, master chef kira. Dia belajar, dia R&D apa gini. Malam tu aku makan cookie, sedap sure. Aku tengok dah okay lah on.
Bukan pasal sedap, but Alhamdulillah, because that night he had the idea. And because he looked like he was convincing me, with the idea and everything semua. Jadi kita pun semangat lah. Experiment nanti kasih benda tu jadi. So when he tried it and he was so macam like impressed by it, kita lagi macam okay, semangat.
So kita kasih on.
Bila
kita kasih on, kita jual apa kata kita tengok that is when aku had no choice. I was nobody in the F&B industry, in the martial art industry, whatever.
No experience lah.
No experience apa. Aku just from tu aku ada ni sikit lah, ada resume sikit lah. Kalau
night life ada resume
in the industry. But this one, aku was a nobody. So aku needed a boost. That's when aku started TikTok properly. That's when aku start. Before that aku start, tapi macam malu tak malu gini kan.
Macam bodoh kan
macam
nanti rasa bodoh lah. Betul. Aku understand. Macam kau buat sendiri, macam siapa nak pergi layan. Tapi once kau dapat the response, and orang suka, kau macam so
and the
this
thought
is
of
it.
what your surrounding think of you when kau baru nak hijrah, kau from kita from that life come to this life. The words we hear, the people talk about us kan. So but then I had no choice. Like I said, last cents in my bank. My wife wanted to do this. I had no choice. Kita pump. I started TikTok. Okay, aku kat sini dah how like I'm doing now. Just a little less better lah maybe. Jadi aku buat hari-hari. Ada respon. Sometimes the viral go up. Sometimes the video nobody see. Sometimes the video kira viral. Jadi aku bikin. So kadang untung besar, kadang untung kecil. Asal aku tak loss. Pasal aku tak payah bayar apa-apa dekat kawan aku ni. Dia support aku lah, which alhamdulillah, thank you. Dia support aku lah. But aku, so I had some money. Halfway through aku paid the electrical yang aku dah promise dia. Aku janji dia, aku paid the electrical. Okay, dah bayar electrical, aku sambung. So at the end of the whole project, alhamdulillah kita had some funds, but not as much. Because aku belum viral apa tu. It's just orang kenal support.
Timing tu pendek apa? Pasal korang masuk korang masuk halfway.
Correct.
So kira kan macam make it or break it lah. We just do this lah. Faham.
So last day, alhamdulillah, an organizer who is going to do Gegar Fest, which is a well-known event, approach us. Dia datang kat aku, macam nak sambung apa next dekat ni Gegar Fest lah, which is a friend. So alhamdulillah. Aku tak banyak duit. Aku cakap berapa sia ni semua. So they gave a little discount. Aku cakap aku try lah.
Because it is expensive. Pasal orang sana, orang kat luar ni kan, they don't understand the initial cost to do an event, buka booth banyak babe. Orang ingatkan sikit. Lepas tu kita bila charge mahal, orang cakap rasa ke charge mahal. Kita keluarkan beribu-ribu. On day one, kita buka hari ni, kita dah thousands spent. So kita do our best.
The setup itself?
The
Yes bro.
electrical cost?
Yes, electrical mahal. So depends on how much kau nak pakai. Berapa 18M lah, 24M ni semua banyak kau nak pasang. Nanti kau bayang kau. Right. So betul the first official event was Gegar lah.
Yes.
Gegar Fest tu kau dah jual Crozone.
Okay. So
pasal tu before Crookie apa?
Crookie apa? Jadi aku nak continue dengan Crookie lah. Kita dah continue. But bila towards the date from the last day that aku dah paid pasal dia dah kasih aku discount, aku paid deposit, aku just waiting for the day to come, and then kira rope access aku dah on hold lah now. Okay? Jadi during that phase macam-macam Crookie je keluar. Sini jual Crookie, sana jual Crookie.
We saw so many people selling.
Habis bila Nasty Cookie jual Crookie, lagi aku rasa macam alamak ni tak boleh ada. Aku tak ada fight bro. Jadi aku tengok B cannot ya. But up till today jujur wallahi orang sekarang masih minta kita punya Crookie. Still ask bro. Okay, but aku felt that kita tak cukup resume lah untuk fight Nasty kan. Diorang dah ada apa. So aku cakap Crookie dah tak boleh. Habis aku believe that on the event itself, on the day, mesti ada orang lain jual Crookie. Jadi aku dah tak percaya dengan tu produk. Aku cakap ni macam mana, duit dah keluar ni. Aku alamak ni lagi satu nak start from scratch balik. Zero dah. Aduh, ini dah last cent apa in my bank. Aku cakap alamak ni macam mana. Tapi banyak orang suka Crookie kita. So aku cakap tak boleh, still cannot. But they like our Crookie, right? Kemungkinan they believe us when we do something with croissants or cookie. Maybe we separate the both. If we do something with that, insyaAllah we still got the trust because people like our product. So kita duduk berbual. Tapi hari-hari fikir lah. Duduk hari-hari fikir, apa ni? Kalau tak ada benda yang kita fikir, 101% kita masih jalan Crookie, just try. So fikir
and I was experimenting with cookies still tau.
Yeah.
So because
Yes.
time the trend of like macam those big cookies, filling cookies and everything semua coming. So I'm like okay, I know we
Soft
have
cookies.
Soft cookies. Jadi I dah tengah experiment.
Right.
Then Kai pula tengah fikir.
Tengah try makin sedap. Dia punya cookie pun makin sedap. So after that kita one day ni dah tengah pecah kepala ni. One day ni tengah scroll, cheese pool pula tengah trending. Tapi aku cakap tak boleh lah, ni macam nak bikin. Dah ramai bikin. So aku cakap dia, ingat tak I cakap kita kena do something with croissant atau cookie yang orang percaya dengan kita. Sekarang aku tengok ni, aku cakap B, pergi search B. Ni kita search fact check Pernah tak orang pergi bikin croissant pool with overflowed dessert sauce lah. Lain-lain dessert sauces. Check. Aku rasa macam dah ada. Aku cakap gini dengan diri aku. Aku rasa dah
macam
ada.
I'm not special lah. Someone not special lah. I've thought about it before already.
Faham. Lagi kalau kita boleh fikir tu benda, kita mesti fikir orang dah fikir.
Betul.
Lagi-lagi orang in the F&B industry mesti dah fikir kita newbies. Betul lah. Kita nothing special, kita newbies. So aku cakap kita search lah. Jom. Bila kita search, tak boleh dapat bro. Tak boleh dapat. Aku cakap B, this is a statement that we could have to let people know that we create this. Ini bukan ni, of course everything comes back to Allah. Alhamdulillah, they gave us this idea, they gave us this ilham. But what I mean is, this can already be a point that, hey, come on, this is our creation. Let's do this, right? So, but after that, when kita come out this creation, ada je lah ke world ke apa, tapi tak ada fact, tak ada sampai ni hari, up till today, tak ada yang kasih aku satu yang orang bikin before aku pun, tak ada, okay? But never mind, back to the topic. On that night itself, I think it was 12 a.m. Maybe 11 p.m. or 12 a.m. on that night itself. We went straight to the supermarket to get basic R&D needs lah. On that night ke next morning kita try? On that night
That night kita try macam one flavour.
One flavour. On that night kita try. Sekali bila aku taste, Alhamdulillah, aku love it bro. Aku cakap B. After aku taste ni dah try dah R&D dah bikin, aku cakap B. Ni benda boleh be confirm. I cakap gitu. InsyaAllah kalau Allah izinkan.
The same feeling as the Crookie punya feeling or even better
Even better lah bro. Even better. Crookie was a inspiration from someone.
Faham.
From the Paris cafe.
Faham.
But this croissant tarik itself macam kita dah excited. Besok kita R&D sampai yang first video aku keluar. Yang kita boleh pull from Tampines to apa ni semua is all part of content creating apa. So bila kita keluar, kita make the claim, kita apa, that's when bro, aku pun tak expect, jujur. Okay, aku lepas keluarkan tu video, aku suka keluar. Aku like to go out kan. Aku memang suka jalan-jalan, cari inspirasi apa gini lah. So aku jalan, aku balik, video tu dah viral bro. Dah betul-betul viral, which aku pun tak expect. Because aku was at a level 100 like, 200 like, okay. Nobody would expect that. Bila aku tengok, of course ada kecam bro. Kecam banyak bro.
Tapi kan, on a good note, the kecam yang akan bikin video viral lah.
Yes,
actually, because dorang komen, dia akan thread. Itu yang kasih fly. So kadang aku tengok orang kecam, okay,
thank you.
Lebih sikit. Nanti tapi nanti ada kecam, ada yang defend, ada yang kecam, ada defend.
Yes.
So it becomes a thread in conversation. Itu yang video tu akan fly. So dia ada blessing dia kat situ.
Alhamdulillah. Jadi that video fly, aku tengok, okay, Gegar Fest we found a product. Bila Gegar Fest we found a product, but kita newbies kita first timer, equipment problem apa banyak. Okay, the event day comes lah, senang cakap, the event day come. The event day came, banyak problem bro.
Betul.
Betul.
Kita punya tempat
Power
sos kecil,
trip lah, apalah.
power trip, oven, kita tak take the right oven. Kita ambil oven dari my friends.
Kita sampai pinjam orang punya oven pasal like we have this problem already now.
My mum friend ada kedai dekat sekolah punya kantin. Dia personally pergi ambil itu oven untuk hantar kat kita during event bro. Kita punya event, kita punya oven tak cukup, tak rosak apa gini, dia pergi ambil bro kat sekolah punya kantin, hantar kat kita untuk continue the oven.
Kita dah ada queue ni sekarang.
Tengah ada queue ni.
Tengah ada queue.
Right.
Kita punya oven pula ada problem. Then she
Pressure kan. Pressure tu. Aku hate that feeling. But everybody's just doing this.
Yes.
Everybody just staring at you. Habis kau macam tak kena gaya. Macam aku ni benda takkan rosak. Macam mana sabar kat pusing belakang. Kita tak ada solution.
We can't stop that, right? I can't stop that. Macam sorry kita first time kita try.
Yes bro.
Keep sorry. Aku rasa sampai gini bro. Excited. Jadi kita asyik sorry je. Kita punya words tu hari the event was full of sorries. But the support was amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
Diorang bersabar.
Many
familiar faces. Banyak gila familiar faces. And ada yang happy. So while aku believe lah ada yang angry but they didn't show. But dah Alhamdulillah bro, diorang betul-betul tunggu. Kira the queue was non-stop. Aku rasa jujur, as a first timer, aku rasa 90% of the events there, the vendors there, or even the crowd there, didn't expect this. So it became a hoo-ha. Orang berbual pasal ni, siapa ni, apa ni, siapa ni. Dah jadi a thing that people talk about. Habis on that day pula ramai pakai kita punya brand Flamboyant Goons. So it started off with a brand That's why croissant tarik by FG Flamboyant Goons. I love fashion since young. Aku rasa kalau aku keluar, aku pun nampak aku like to dress up kan. Jadi Flamboyant Goons is aku punya own streetwear brand lah. That ramai tengah pakai tu hari. So kita punya team tu, Alhamdulillah, with the support of my dad and friends and aku punya own personal friends which pakai itu baju, so we made a maybe significant impact
Yep.
Can I say that, right?
Drew positive attention.
Drew positive attention, and that's when kita believe in kita punya produk, bro.
Right.
So Croissant tarik, orang nampak dia punya bagus sekarang, which is Alhamdulillah, dengan izin Allah. Tapi that was the help to get me back on my feet, bro.
Betul.
Help to us. Dia dah quit dia punya corporate job. Kita dah tak ada. Kita depending on kita punya last cents. And up till today, kita still at kita punya growing point. While aku tengah berbual kau ni, bukan kita dah power.
Dah fly ke?
Dah fly. Bukan saya bro, kita tengah growing.
Betul.
Right?
Betul.
Kita tengah trying. Like aku cakap, aku still tengah cari new ventures, what we can get into to have a stable life for my wife and I. Because at the moment, kita pun tengah trying for a kid, which aku harap korang and boleh doa-doakan lah with all that kita been through in terms of macam kita dia punya pregnancy and stuff. So kalau kita nak try for kid lagi, wife je dah kena jaga je dah times 2 apa kau kena bikin. Habis nak kids, nak apa, nak house. Okay, so all that by the time kita dah tinggal dengan in-law dah. By the time kita dah tinggal dengan in-law, diorang pun comfortable. And sampai sekarang we are great lah. Everything is great. Alhamdulillah, aku dengan in-laws aku comfortable sangat. Dia dengan in-laws dia, which is parents aku pun comfortable. And this is how we are now and who we are.
Wow, that is a really super detailed punya story. Macam aku like I said tadi, aku start dengan first episode tadi. Sekarang aku start dengan second episode. The process to go through to reach to this point, like I said orang usually nampak apa yang cantik je. Orang akan nampak macam dah make it dah, nikah bagus lah business. Tapi dia punya tarik-tarik ke bawah tu, yang go through, yang benda rosak. Macam last minute event aku pergi jumpa kau, mesin tak ada power.
Absolute.
This kind of small things,
problems that people don't see.
It might look small to people, bro. Kita as business owners, when kita tak ada power, kita panic. Kita, because nothing can move and then macam everything is ready, especially when equipment rosak. Ini semua adanya parts and parcels of doing business which is I think korang
doing events lagi.
Events, betul.
Bro. And then macam to me, events one day engkau tak hit target kan, second third day kau nak kena koyak kau nak kena really biar dalam basah sampai masam all out me. Aku always have this habit.
It's disgusting to imagine that, bro.
Don't lah. I didn't ask you to lah, but like, it's like that lah. Don't imagine me in my underwear lah, you know. But
you're just making this very weird for me right now.
Right kan. Then guys talk sini okay tau. Tapi aku always have this habit of usually event habis macam pukul 10, pukul 9 kan, orang lain akan tutup dulu. Aku tak tahu kenapa orang suka tutup siang. Kenapa? Aku nak duit. Aku always be the last one to close.
That's where we are.
Kan? Biar semua orang tutup dulu, pasal kita the last one.
Want to try to hit the sales.
Correct, bro. And then macam selagi siapa yang masih boleh datang, bro, masih buka, masih. Apa aku nak jual, aku just jual. Pasal pada aku, this is the last few cents yang akan make the change lah. Pasal kita tak tahu besok punya macam mana.
Takut kena jual tu seluar basah kan.
Betul. Jangan lah. Sekarang kau ingat Jufri suruh dalam basah. Kalau boleh jangan macam gitu lah.
Hashtag
So dalam bahasa SB lah, Jufri SB kata.
Jangan terperanjat aku dah start hashtag gini.
Jangan okay. Aku before kita close this off, kita pun drag panjang juga. Maybe you guys can give a word or two, shout out dekat kau punya own business, whatever you want to sell, atau macam we want to appreciate everybody sesiapa yang mendengar ni. You want to say anything to them?
Okay, all I have to say is, seriously, it's very cliche to say that don't give up on whatever you do, right? But it's a fact. Kalau kau persevere, kau keep trying, right? There will be a plan for you, as Allah has promised. Dengan usaha, dengan keikhlasan kau, insya-Allah it will work out if it's meant for you. So kau continue trying. If kau tak continue trying, maknanya kau tak usaha.
Betul.
Then we don't know if it's meant for you.
Betul.
Unless kau continue trying until the next thing happens insya-Allah. And maybe we can go from failures to succeeding. Okay, from having our last cents in the bank, and aku just nak share lah, bukan nak borak nak power ke apa. Kita nak share from having our last cents in the bank, and today we just purchase an umrah ticket for someone else. Maybe we can go for that for someone else. Because but not pasal kita power ke apa, no, but because the company helped us with our umrah ticket. Right, lessen our burden financially, so we managed to have an extra that amount that when kita do this cruise on tarik for a few events, kita dah ada niat untuk save and pergi umrah. Kita dah cakap dengan dia.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes,
Right.
we already spoke to each other about kalau kita ada it's already advice, right? Kalau kau ada rezeki, go for it.
Bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
It was my dream, and my husband was like, okay.
so kita save up for it. Sekali bila kita save, ada company pula nak tolong kita. So kita use this for someone else lah. Maybe we can go from betul-betul feeling, bro. Kita aku rasa kita dah ceritakan apa yang kita punya rabak.
Tikus
tu rabak.
Tapi tak sampai surah dalam basah lah.
Tak sampai surah dalam basah.
Too chronic.
Surah dalam poison je.
Poison.
Kita kena ada rat trap semua dalam kita punya bilik, bro, at that point of time. So yalah, insyaAllah the only key is really just doing. Really believe in macam apa kau tengah bikin tu. Kalau kau really believe in it, janganlah benda kau tak believe, kau still trying when kau tahu dah tak boleh. Tapi if kau really believe in it, continue doing until the next thing happens. If this doesn't happen, the next thing ada. Mesti ada next thing. Pasal life kau only Allah knows until when. Jadi if it continues, there's always gonna be a next thing, or the same thing sampai jadi.
Trust the process.
We never know.
Macam daripada Thai Beach Club jadi close on lah.
Yes, correct.
Jauh,
Exactly that.
That's why.
Daripada tepi laut pergi ke event lah. Dia dah
It's crazy.
Macam
this is not just the few businesses that we have. Like aku cakap, kita ada banyak failures, bro. Like kita punya barbershop yang kita fail miserably. Kita punya tattoo shop yang kita fail miserably. We have especially at that point of time, we have things that kita fail, bro. Banyak benda kita fail. But like aku cakap lah, fail next thing. Dah fail apa? Okay, Allah dah tunjukkan fail. Takkan kau nak no. Right? Next thing kita usaha lagi. Next thing kita usaha lagi. Kita
the opportunities akan open up macam nicely and magically. But then kau nak kena trust Allah punya plan. Kau just live your life again, continue life, and then keep pushing, nanti dia akan datang. Cuma kau nak kena usaha. Macam kau cakap, usaha tu is very important.
And also ikhlas dengan apa yang kita tengah actually offering to people also.
Yes. And it definitely helps to have a wonderful partner. Just a shout out to my wife, Quraisha Jasni.
Betul. You should do that more lah, because after whatever she go through, I tell you, you better sayang her. I tell you,
InsyaAllah.
she sacrificed a lot lah. Alhamdulillah. But you guys are very good for each other lah, which is aku doakan semoga korang diberikan hidayah dan istiqamah, dan diberikan anak-anak ramai-ramai lah, insyaAllah.
Amin.
Whenever you guys are ready, whenever Allah deem ready. And bila korang pergi umrah?
This 23rd of December, insyaAllah.
MasyaAllah. How many days?
13 days.
Alhamdulillah. Nanti aku akan buat off camera lah pasal umrah kan. Nanti korang akan malas nak dengar pasal aku yang pasal umrah kan. But thank you so much once again for coming over. InsyaAllah korang jangan lupa support dia punya business. Is there any event coming up?
18 to 20th of October for National Bike Week at Changi Aviation, something like that. I think budak-budak bikers, budak-budak yang ada kereta, motos kan, diorang akan tahulah.
Motos. Okay, very nice. Okay, thank you so much everybody kerana sudi mendengar kami di Podcast Ya Ke. Jangan lupa untuk follow kita dekat Instagram, kita punya TikTok, dengan kita punya Spotify. Sehingga kita berjumpa lagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum, Guns.